trying to go buy a piece of vintage some true French or guy that screwed me on it. So that's why I'm gonna be late. He just posted it way too cheap, and I was like, I'll come first thing in the morning. He's like, okay, come here at 9, and then he texted me, somebody came and offered me more money. Bargain that.
Are we gonna go get coffee after this?
Hell yeah. I'm not drinking that swill. I'm probably gonna shoot the worst. This way.
Okay, now you can hear me, huh? Yeah? Okay. No one was going to say anything when I was talking and doing that, and that they couldn't hear me. Everybody was just like staring off in the face. That's funny. You guys are awesome. Thank you. It's 9 o'clock. Let's get started, everybody. We have great weather. We have great business. We have so much to be grateful for, but let's go around the room and start with Jacqueline up at the top left of my screen.
I'm grateful that I found a landscaper to take the 2 dead trees out of my front yard yesterday.
That's
awesome. Simple things, right? Jan Abrego.
I'm grateful for everyone on this call. I mean, everyone's been super helpful. I've been able to reach out to different loan officers, and everyone's been really great. So I'm super grateful for that, helping me through the process.
Right on. Hey, Claire.
Morning.
I guess the test was negative, huh?
What?
I guess the test came back negative then?
Yeah, it came back negative a while ago.
Yeah, I know, but and then like, did you go and get again? No.
No, I didn't have symptoms, so they told me not to get tested.
They told you not to go back?
Yeah. So I'm grateful to be back in the office.
So yeah, we're grateful for that. It's so weird just to be exposed to somebody who had it and not have it, and like, oh well, I got to go I got to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. That's just weird. But anyway, well, we're glad to have you back. I know Jacqueline is. Tom.
I'm grateful that life is getting back to normal to an extent, and I have my first in-person meeting here right after the call that I've had since February.
Right on.
So yeah, looking forward to that.
Financial advisor over at Monk & Mongoose. Good job. June Dietz.
Hi. I think I'm just grateful that I had a nice little hike this morning. So
cool.
In the morning. Yeah, it was nice.
That's nice. Giuseppe.
I'm grateful for a nice run this morning.
Right on. And 56, do you really have 56 loans closing this month?
Yes.
That's just 56 loans. That's astounding. Good job, dude. I'm grateful for that. Ryan Pettigrew.
I'm grateful for the beautiful weather. I just enjoy looking at the mountains when I'm driving to work. Take that for granted sometimes. So yeah, I like that this morning.
I know the feeling. I do that all the time. Casey Clement.
I'm grateful for dads. Had an awesome Father's Day. Went over to my parents' house. And, spend the day with my kids. Spend the day with my parents. And just had a good time.
Awesome.
Happy birthday.
Happy Father's Day to the dads.
Yeah, right on. Annie.
I remembered before you even came up on my phone. Is there
I would say FaceTimes, just because Sunday I was able to feel like I was hanging out with my dad, so that was nice.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Right on. Chris Hauber.
I think I used this one before, but just love my Peloton, so thank you to them.
There you go. John Arsenault.
I'm grateful for the coffee that Emily's going to buy me after this meeting.
All right.
For his birthday. We could all sing happy birthday.
Is today the day?
Today's the day. I'm grateful I'm not 50 yet. That's what one of my friends asked me. I'm like, nope.
You're not 50 yet? Jeez, I would have sworn. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Happy birthday. Emily, since you're not on, you don't have your deal up.
I am grateful. I got my first purchase contract
And I'm also grateful for Jacqueline. She sent me some really helpful stuff last week, and I appreciated it.
Oh. Well, like Annie and Casey, I'm pretty grateful for the Father's Day that I got to have. I got to go see my son last week, and then having Jacqueline and Donnie over, Jacqueline and Nate over on Sunday for dinner, and then going by and seeing my dad on Saturday. So yeah, grateful for fathers. I won the parent lottery for sure. So anyway, let's get started for today. So I had sent an email to, we're doing, I do it twice a week. I'm doing some coaching with Tom, Jan, and Emily. And a question that came up that Emily had about a client that she was working with who wanted to see multiple options for every house that she was looking at, and what about this one and what about that one. And she asked a really good question, which was, you know, I have time to do this now, but if I'm doing half a dozen loans or 6, 7, 8, 10 loans a month, how do you possibly have time to do that for everybody? And we started to talk about, well, you just have to do it. And I thought, well, hang on a second. Let's talk to some loan officers that are doing that much production on a monthly basis and just see how they go about it. I'm sure that everybody's got a strategy for doing this. So I'd sent an email to Chris and to Giuseppe and to Jacqueline and said, hey, I want to ask you guys this question, and I want you to share your answer on the call so that we have an idea of your strategy when it comes to this. Because I know that's one of the things about this job is that a lot of times your weekends can get hijacked, and it's challenging to have to do that all the time. And obviously your goal is to have the customer fully prepped so that if something comes up on the weekend, they already know the answer. But I don't know today with technology how this is being navigated. And so I just thought I would ask people that are doing a lot of production doing it. So let's start with you, Giuseppe, since I know that this is something that you've worked on a lot over the last few years about how to have a weekend and how to set the weekend up to be as productive as possible without hijacking the entire weekend for you.
Well, that's been a failure of a project, but
thanks.
You know, I think it's I don't have too many clients right now that I feel like have used that. There certainly are a few, and when those come along, you just kind of take it in stride, and then you can start to like train them a little bit by like just not replying right away. I mean, if someone sends over 4 new houses every day, and that happens during the week, I may not reply until 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and not at 9 o'clock in the morning. Most clients, if they are looking at homes, they seem to know Thursday or Friday that they're going to go look at some homes. You know, I just have them send me the address and update the PCA for them, you know, as well as just educating them up front when you're doing your meeting. You know, every $10,000 you go up or down is about $50 a month. You know, I tell them that I'm available 7 days a week, but I also say, well, I also have a family. So as soon as I get near a computer, if you send me something on Saturday or Sunday, you know, I'd be glad to help out and update the PCA for you. And so if they send an email, I might just send them a quick text back and just say, hey, based on whatever we're doing, maybe it's nothing. Maybe we're playing catch in the backyard. But I'm like, hey, I'm running some errands. I'll be near a computer in about 2 hours, and I'll glad to get these over to you. But again, I don't really have too many clients that I feel like are asking me for multiple homes every weekend. And some clients never ask. They just go under contract, and some clients are super payment sensitive. Everybody's different. Some clients like have a 10% DTI, and they ask me to run houses, like 5 different houses, and the payment is $5 off on each one. It's like ridiculous. It's like, remember, $10,000 up or down is $5 a month. So everybody's different. So you just have to be in control of your weekend, and you can reply quickly, but you don't have to reply with the updated TCA quickly. You can just say, hey, we're actually just driving up to the mountains. I'll probably get these to you around 4 or 5 this afternoon, whatever it is.
You discovered something, I remember this about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer, where you thought you had to reply to everybody who wanted to get pre-approved on a Saturday who you had never met before, and you'd come up with an email template. What's that email template?
Yeah, so I can share that. I shared it with our team recently because June and Ryan covered for me a couple weekends ago, and basically it's our same newly template, but I always, like, for like 10 years, it would stress the hell out of me when someone would email me at like 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and they're like, hey, my so-and-so told me to call you to get pre-approved. I assumed it's because they wanted to make an offer that day. But the reality is that 9 out of 10 times, it's just someone going about their life, and at 8 o'clock on Saturdays when they remember that they have to email me, that they have to reach out to me. So the email template is just an email reply that gives them, hey, we're thrilled to help you. I can forward it to everybody, but, excellent service, blah, blah, blah. Here's a link to schedule our discovery call, and it's going to go to Calendly, and it's only going to show them things during the week. And then I just put a sentence in there: if this is an urgent matter and you need to connect this weekend, please let me know and we can figure something out. And just having that, all of a sudden you can reply with that quickly. So you're giving excellent service, and 9 out of 10 times people are scheduling for the week. Almost never do they actually want to talk about a mortgage on a Saturday or Sunday. That's just when they remember that they have to reach out to you. And that was just a big eye opener for me, because I was just like, oh, I got to reply right now.
Right.
I don't want them to go elsewhere. And it's like, well, yeah, you can reply. Doesn't mean you have to like take a loan application that night.
That was huge. I remember when you figured that out, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't do this a long time ago. Most of the time, it's us. It's what we think that causes most of the stress and the damages. So yeah, if you can send that email out, that'd be great. Chris, is there, what can you add that may be a little different, or your approach?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I think I finally came to the realization, like, during COVID, that we're so busy that I don't have to, I don't know how to, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like, I have a life too. Like, I work 10 hours, and I've told people, like, hey, I work 10 hours during the week. Like, I'm available like during the week, but it's the weekend. I play golf. I go hiking every Sunday with my wife. Like, like, if you send me an email, I'll definitely get to it, but I'm not going to get to it right away on the weekend. And I think I set the same expectations with realtors. I'm like, and I guess that's just me. And hey, like, I mean, if you want to use someone else, I mean, I'm not going to just drop what I'm doing in the middle of my fucking golf round and blow up my entire day to take a loan app on at 9:30 on Saturday. Like, I'm out. I keep my phone in my locker and I don't look at it. And sorry. So that's me, but
it's important to know when you first get going, you do feel like, especially when you first, so people that are just starting or still building a pipeline of referral partners, when you first get going, you are going to be more available because you're just going to be sensitive to it. And of course, you're more excited about it. And as soon as the business starts to roll in and it's more consistent, yeah, there's definitely, especially if you're married and you have children and everything else, it's, or just having, you have plans for the weekend. You can't let this take over your life, because then what's the point, right? So you're working to live, you're not living to work. And I mean that. And we all work really hard. We all put in a lot of hours, and we're always available. I mean, the life of a loan officer is, you're pretty much available 7 days a week. You just pretty much are. And
and I'll respond to emails and do TCs over the weekend. It's just probably around like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. In the winter, it's different. Like, I'm not outside. It's cold. I'm more available. So I just let people know that. And I do say, during my TCA meeting, when I, review loan options, I'm like, hey, if you want me to update numbers, just shoot me an email with the address. I'll get to it, but I might not get to it right away, but I'll get to it by the end of the day. And most people are totally fine with it. So, but yes, when I was started, I mean, I went to open houses every single Saturday. I worked Saturdays. I was super available. I made myself available. So I would tell the newer people to do that. I mean, because you start building trust and it works. And then, 10 years, then you can kind of change the way you want to structure your life. But that's kind of where I am now. Is, I mean, money's good, and I just want to relax and enjoy life rather than work all weekend. So.
Cool. Thank you, Jack.
Add something.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Giuseppe.
It just reminded me. So also part of it is, you know, even if I am working at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night, because whatever, I'm just want to get ahead of some emails that came in, I will never send out the email at 9 o'clock at night, or I'll never send out an email at 5 o'clock in the morning to a client. I always use delay delivery. And I think Michelle talked about that on the training call a couple of weeks ago. If you don't know what that is, let us know, because that's right in Outlook. You can type up your email and do delay delivery, have to go out the next morning at 9 o'clock. And all of a sudden, your client thinks like they're the number one priority because you replied to them as soon as you sat down and turned on your computer at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever you want to do. But if you start replying to emails at 7 or 8 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be the expectation, and you're going to get someone who gets pissed off one day because you don't do it, and you're like, that's crazy that you would lose a client over something like that. I have. So yeah, just going back to what Chris was saying too, you have to take control of the weekend and your timing. And there's been, if you have kids, it's like so hard. It's so hard because you want to provide, right? You can't like, well, if I take this call, it could be $4,000. Like that's amazing, right? But you also, I've worked entire vacations in the past before I had a team that could help out. Back when we used to take a vacation, that's when you go someplace and don't work, like you fly there. It's weird. But I've worked vacations where I like sat inside a condo and watched the kids at the beach, and there's like no worse feeling than that, you know. But if you are going to make yourself always available, that's what it's going to lead down. You know, it's going to lead down that road a bit for me. So.
Good to have these boundaries. This is really good information. Jacqueline, what about you?
I'm not really doing anything different than what everybody has said. I try to send out a video update to my pre-approved buyers or my clients that are about to be pre-approved every Friday morning, so that I'm telling them on Friday, if you're going out looking this weekend and you have a specific property you're interested in and you want to see numbers, send it to me so that hopefully I'm getting that on a Friday. And not over the weekend. I don't take new clients over the weekend, and my agents know that. So I'll just send the client, like, if you need this pre-approval now, here's the link to my online website, and you can fill out the application and we'll go from there.
Do you think you've had any lost business due to that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't care, because it's the quote, unpreparedness on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. So if you're a realtor and you're taking a buyer out for the first time on a Saturday and they're not pre-approved with anybody and they want to write an offer, that's on you. That's not on me. And there's probably somebody who will take that call, and it's just not me. But it used to be. But most of the majority of the agents that I work with, I've trained them, and they know, hey, here's what you need to do. And they're really good about getting me people ahead of time. And if it happens to be some like fluke, like if they can get me 100% of everything, I'll get you a lender letter, but know that it's conditional on whatever the hell their paperwork says. And as long as I can at least pull credit, because I mean, if the client's motivated and will fill out an application and get paperwork to me within 30 minutes, then I'm more likely to take a look at the file. But I mean, I'll call agents on the weekend for follow-ups on contracts, and I'll update TCAs if I need to and things like that. But I try to do as much as I can on the front end with clients during the week so that I'm not doing that on the weekend.
This is great stuff, you guys.
And as sad as it is, like, it depends on the realtor, because like, gee, if like Sonia calls you, you're like, yeah, I'll take that, right? Or one of your top realtors, like if Judy Cottle calls me, I know it's a good buyer. I'm like, yeah, I'll jump on it. But I know that's kind of mean, but it's never. You don't want to waste your time, like, and then you pull credit on a Saturday at 12 and their credit score is 500. You're like, what the fuck what am I doing? And I just feel like you just gotta set the good boundaries, and you just gotta make sure it's worth the effort to just kind of stop in the middle of your day to to do that
Yeah,
work.
one of the things that I want to get you guys to hear is that I want you to have a life. You can't, as much as I'd like you to all be robots and work 24 hours a day, you're not robots, and you're going to hate your life and you're going to hate your job if that's what you have to do. And hating your job is this thing where it's the thing that you do most besides sleeping. We spend more time working than we do anything else in life except sleeping. If it sucks, your life sucks. It just is. So you've got to be intentional about designing a business that is going to be the business and life that you want. If you don't do that, you're just going to be miserable, and it's not worth it. It doesn't matter how much, the money won't matter. The money won't matter. So I'm glad to hear that you guys have, and especially being as strategic and intentional about putting those kinds of deals in place. Now, again, when you first get going in this business, you're going to do a lot more things. You're going to work Saturdays. You're going to take calls. You're going to do almost anything because you're just getting it going. And that's okay, because it's the launch part of your business. And when you're launching a business, you're going to expend a lot more energy. But once you get to this, just know that it won't be like that forever, but you do have to put in your time. Giuseppe used to run open houses on the weekends. Jacqueline has done it. I mean, everybody has done it, or gone to different events on the weekends. Not my favorite thing to do when I was producing, but it was like I'm getting business. I'm trying to do loans. So anyway, this is really good stuff, and I appreciate everybody sharing. The next thing I want to talk about.
I wanted to add on really quick to what Chris said. Just know the referral source, right? And I know it's hard when you're starting off because every single deal matters a lot. But I could tell you I did probably 30 pre-approvals for Redfin agents because I got on some Redfin preferred lender list, and those 9 out of 10 of those buyers are rate shoppers. And so you sit and do an application on a weekend, collect the documents, send a lender letter, which our amazing lender letter is probably going to get their offer accepted. And then on Monday, they start rate shopping. It took me probably 20 before I'm like, okay, I'm not replying to any more Redfin emails on the weekend, because Redfin is like the worst model, right? No one has a relationship with the buyer. They just like show buyers houses. None of them are pre-approved. And then it's like, oh, now they found a house and they want to make an offer. Those are the Saturday evening calls. And
good feedback.
You have to just say no to some of those because it does not work out most of the time.
That's great feedback. So I got to give Ryan, so I wrote about this book on Friday. Ryan is the staff member. Ryan Pettigrew is the staff member that told me about this book. Dave Savage interviewed him a couple of weeks back. So if you want to look him up, that was a great interview. And when I was coming back from California last week, I downloaded the book on Audible so that I could just listen to it. And it was really impactful. It was so impactful that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to listen to that chapter. I almost never do that when I'm listening to a business book. I almost never go like, I want to listen to that chapter again. And I did that like 3 or 4 times, and I have found myself doing it. I've finished listening to the book twice now, but I've also spent time going back. And the reason I like it so much is its approach. And I really do think that this is the most important thing that you can do in this business is really take care of your mindset. And it's the mindset that will determine this outcome. And so this isn't a positive thinking book, and that's what's really cool about it. His whole approach, his whole focus is something that he calls neutral thinking. And so I want to do this. I want to kick this off today, and I've got a bunch of these books coming. Giuseppe, you're getting one sent to your house today. But I know everybody else is in the office, so I'm going to get everybody a copy of this book. And what I'd like us to do is start reading it this week and have everybody share something every week instead of, we'll take a break from the great gratitude stuff and we'll talk about what did I learn this week? What was the most important thing? So it's for all the loan officers, all the loan officer assistants, it's everybody on the teams, because this is a really impactful book. And I think it could be a real game changer for us as a company. This idea of of really being in control of your mind and just some of the things that I shared last week. One of the cool takeaways in the book is just stop saying stupid shit out loud. So when you say something negative out loud about something that's going on, it can only do one thing, and that is to make you feel worse, and it's reinforced because you said it out loud. It's one thing to have a negative thought. It's a whole nother thing to express it. And just that concept I thought was fascinating. And just in the last few days, what I've tried really hard to do is like, I'm just going to quit talking about things that are bugging me and focus on, and it really does change things. It really does make you feel a little bit lighter. It makes you feel a little bit more positive. And this isn't about positive thinking. It's really how to stop thinking negatively and begin to think neutrally. Because the challenging times are going to come. The challenging times are always going to be there. And we can't stop that. But what we can do is change the way we respond and control that. And so I've got a copy of this book coming for everybody. So I'll be sending it out. And then I'd like everybody to just, let's dig in and over the next month. And maybe what we do is, maybe this is a little bit longer because there's quite a few chapters. If we could at least commit to, I know this is not something that everybody does as much as I do, but one of our core values is striving to grow personally and professionally, and reading is one of the key ways that you can do that. It's everybody commit to reading at least a chapter a week. So get through there's an introduction and a forward, I think, but let's get the first chapter read. And then interesting thing about the guy is he works with Russell Wilson, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, and they've started a business called Think Big, Go Far, I think is the name of this business. Limitless Minds is the idea behind it. And he has spent his career working with mostly professional athletes, just helping them with their mindset stuff. Michael Johnson was the track star was a client, but he's been working with Russell Wilson since Russell Wilson was in college. So pretty cool stuff. So I think you'll all enjoy it. And I'd like us to get into this, and let's figure out how we can use this to help each one of you in your business, but help Zenith as a company rise above everybody else in terms of what we can do, just based on having that kind of an approach to our business, the right mindset, because that really does impact everything. So anyway, I'm really excited to share it. So you'll be all getting a copy. I guess that June, I got to figure out how we're going to get one to your house, because I have one sent to Giuseppe's, but we'll get one sent to everybody's home who isn't coming in. And then we'll go from there. Does anybody have anything else? All right, well, we're back under we have 4 pages in Encompass. We don't have 5 anymore, just saying. So I'm just kidding. We're having a great month. It looks like over 50 million for this month and over 50 million for July, and it's still August, June 23rd. So excellent work, everybody. I know it's a lot. Keep it up. Right mindset, think neutrally. Don't say stupid shit out loud. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Thank you.